And welcome back to Social Club. I'm joined by Liam from United People's TV. It's come out in the press over the last couple of days, Liam, that Manchester United are one of the best paid teams in world football. No team pays more money for wages, and it begs the question. I think there's 5 teams from the Premier League in the top 10, but Manchester United, an average wage for that player would be £110,000 a week. What are Manchester United doing wrong here, Liam? Because they're obviously spending the money.
You think you're doing it wrong?
I think you're doing something massively wrong. Yeah,
Why?
I think because you're spending 5.7
But they've got the money.
I don't think it's terrible. I think, you can't win the league, but paying people like Ashley Young £110,000 a week. Well,
Ashley Young,
you're
in my opinion,
massively
Ashley Young's
overpaying for what you're getting.
Ashley Young's a terrible footballer, but that's not what you're questioning here. What you're questioning is the amount of money you're paying him. So what? We got the money. Why did we pay 90 million for Pogba? Why did we pay how much for Depay we were talking about before? He's played 5 games. We've got the money, pay it out. Why not?
You're just happy for your club to just continue to spend bad money after bad money on players that aren't doing the business.
250 million last year, something. What was it?
You still got huge debt.
Granted, but you're posting profit of 250 million a year, whatever it is. I don't know the exact amount, but that's roughly how much it was, wasn't it? So you've got the money to do it, and that's how you're going to attract the big players.
I'm happy I'm happy for Manchester United to make money, with all the commercial deals they do, and they do a great job on that front. I'm questioning their use of the money when it gets put into the football team, because you've not been good enough. You're spending more money than anybody else.
Well, okay.
If Liverpool were spending more than Barcelona, City, Real Madrid, Chelsea, and PSG, I'd want a better side than them.
If we were winning European Cups and we're winning titles, would it make a difference?
Yeah.
Why would that? Why?
Because then you're spending the money wisely.
Why do you care as a Liverpool fan?
I don't care at all. I just think that it's a waste of money, and you should probably sack someone who's agreeing with the wages with these players, because they're not getting value for money for Manchester United
If you're talking about money, making money and spending money, it becomes the yearly, however much you make, we're in the green. Or in the black? Sorry, what's the problem? I don't really see what the issue is, unless the club can't afford it. But the club can afford it. These guys they've got agents negotiating deals for them, don't they? The club can afford it. What's the problem?
I think that's terrible. Do you agree with it all, Robbie?
Yeah, I agree with you. It's a mess.
Why is it a mess?
The Manchester United transfer policy is ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Why?
Because all you do is you've got a load of money you've earned here, right, through commercial deals and that, and you just literally just go out there and say, so who's the biggest name out there right now? It's Ibrahimovic.
Let's try
and get Memphis Depay.
Hold on, you're just jealous because Wenger hasn't spent dead league deck in the past 10 years.
It's not jealousy, right? It's not jealousy. You do not spend the money in the right areas. You do not spend the money on the right players that you need.
Like who? Van Persie for how much for?
This is why you spend.
Van Persie.
I heard you spend how much?
It's
not about Van Persie. We're talking about now.
For the past 10 years,
the millions of pounds you spent in the summer, and then I still hear people saying, well, when the never transfer window comes, I'm like, how much more money are you going to spend?
United's been doing it for years.
No, talk about now. What have you won? You're not winning. No, come on. You want the Premier League, and you want to be. You're not even in the Champions League.
We have for 3 years.
You're not even in the Champions League. It's the money you've spent.
We won the league 3 years ago.
Listen. Your excuse that...
What you're saying is, how can you justify spending money? He says, because we've won fucking titles. The past 10 years, how much did we pay Van Persie when he went to United? Everyone's saying the transfer fee almost, 30 million for a 30-year-old player, paying him 220 grand a week. The list goes on. Roy Keane got 80 grand a week back in the day when 80 grand a week was double the money with everyone else.
I agree with you, Liam. You have spent over the years, and you've won titles by spending money. But right here, right now, when you look at it, Bastian Schweinsteiger's on £200,000 a week, and he's just getting fucked off by Mourinho. You've got a goalkeeper on £200,000 a week.
He's the best in the world.
He is the best in the world, and that's value for money for me. That I'll accept.
Memphis Depay.
Zlatan Ibrahimovic, 220 grand a week. Ashley Young, £110,000 a week. Fellaini. 70 odd. 70 odd. The only reason that they're paying Paul Pogba £290,000 a week is because he's got to play with Fellaini. That's why. It's danger fucking money. Because he's got to play with that lumphead next year who can't kick a fucking football.
We've got the money to do it.
It's bad though. As a Liverpool fan, we nearly went pop, mate. You know what I mean? We were so close to our club going under because we overspent money.
Why is it bad for football?
To say, we got the money, so we're just going to waste it.
It's not. Why is it wasted? They see that as an investment.
Liam,
so let's talk about
so they make the money back on these players.
The players that hold the club around.
Hold on, wait a minute. An investment? Are you?
That's what transfer fees are considered. Investments.
The Memphis Depay has been a good investment.
No, but they didn't know it at the time. No,
hey, leave Memphis alone. Stop slagging him off.
Yeah, go on, Barry. What do you think about it?
In February, if he hasn't come to us, I'll be there.
What do you think about it?
No, but you know when you're looking at the amount that I was reading something about Manchester United the other day. The stuff that goes through their social, their kind of reach is ridiculous. By the way, it's bigger than anything else on the planet. It outshines everyone. They're the biggest sporting club ever in the world. They're just ridiculous. I was reading all the metrics the other day. But in terms of paying that wages out, when you're making so much money, why aren't they giving it back to the fans then? Why are fans still having to pay ridiculous money? They don't need your season ticket money. They don't need it. They could charge you £15 to sit at Old Trafford.
I agree.
Because
and it would make
10,
nothing.
12, £15 million in gate receipts for the season is a drop. It's just a drop in the ocean.
Yeah.
No.
But if you want to attract
why
the
should
biggest
they?
players,
Make our money
because Robbie.
We've got it according to him.
Let's
just waste it. That's what he's
everyone
saying.
should be doing it, in my opinion.
I agree with you.
I agree with you. The money should go back to the fans.
No, you don't agree. You say we just waste money. We got loads of money.
No,
waste it.
You're trying to attract the biggest players. You got to pay the biggest wages. The biggest players know that United have the money to pay them, so they're going to have to pay it. That's the way it is. They've got the money to do it.
Is this fair to say that before Van Gaal come in, United did buy one or two. They did pay big wages, but they buy one or two.
Yeah.
It's all gone a little bit crazy since
it has
Van
gone a bit
Gaal
mad, but because he had to rebuild the team, didn't he?
Has he rebuilt?
No, he hasn't.
Maria,
no,
I think he's still looking at another rebuild at the end of this season.
Yeah, of course, probably. But that's to do with the manager. That's not to do with the players.
Is that because of Gill? Because Gill's gone and Woodward's come in, or do you not look at it like that? Do you just think?
I think they threw money at the problem after David Moyes. They threw money at the problem. Ferguson left a team that effectively was, for one reason or another, needed a complete rebuild. Our two centre halves were unbelievable for us for the previous 10 years. The two of them were old and they had to retire. You know what I mean? Half the team was gone. And they didn't give Moyes the money. They gave Moyes some money, I suppose, and they bought Fellaini and Mata. Fellaini's been probably our worst ever signing, in my opinion. And Mata's been brilliant, but he hasn't really bought anyone else, has he? So then Van Gaal came in.
Luke Shaw.
And Luke Shaw. Well, no, he didn't buy Luke Shaw.
You got him on a free, did you?
No, he's talking about
Van Gaal.
No, but I'm saying that's another player, right? Luke Shaw, was it
30 million for a fullback? It's crazy money,
right?
I would actually consider that one as a great investment for the future.
For a fullback, £30 million, that's nuts.
I think when you look at it, you could have potentially had him for 15 years as a fullback for Manchester United. I actually think if Liverpool had bought him, I'd have been made up that we'd have
he's a great player.
With all the money you've spent, this is why I say, right, this is why United, you have to be careful, right, when you just say, we got it, so we spend it. With all the money that you've been sploshing around all over the world, some of the best players you've got are homegrown, guys like Rashford, and Lingard and guys like this has come through your ranks, right?
But
this is the problem. When you just go out there, right, and you just say, we got it, so we're just going to splash it. These guys, if it hadn't been for a little injury crisis, probably would never have seen these guys. And they're some of the most talented guys at your club.
Yeah, I agree.
Right?
It's the wrong way to look at it.
The transfer policy, I don't know, I'll get probably a lot of haters here that will say, you're just saying that Arsenal don't spend money, whatever. But the transfer policy, you have to admit, at Manchester United is a complete mess at the moment. In that you spent all that money and you're still far off having the sort of team that you should have.
The mess is that they gave too much power to Van Gaal. That's what happened. They gave too much power to Van Gaal because he bought shit players. He spent that money. United went, we've got the money, go and spend it. We'll give you the money and you go and spend on whoever you think is the best players to bring in. And he brought in shit players. Depay, we were talking about before, is one of them. Now Mourinho's had to go and do that again and rebuild the team the way he wants to do it. If it means he's got to go and spend 90 million on Pogba, that's what he has to spend to let him go, to sign Pogba, because we've got the money and because he knows he can afford it. Pogba's going to go, well, I know you've got the money because you're spending X, Y, and Z on whoever else it is. So this is what I want to come back to United.
My thing is,
your transfer
it's bigger
policy
than just Manchester United, though, isn't it? Because you look at it and you look at this. An annual salary, on average, is £5.7 million for a Manchester United first teamer, right? I would be looking at it and going, why have we spent more than Barcelona and Real Madrid and haven't got anywhere near the standard of squad that they've got? That's what it comes down to.
But even you compare your transfer policy, right, to a team like Bayern Munich. You look at the players that they have. I'm just saying, the use... I'm not saying that United, fair play to them, the amount of money that they bring in. like you said,
Staggering,
it's
isn't it?
staggering. It's unbelievable. That's a credit to those guys who manage that part of the business. But the guys who are buying the players, you compare the players that say a team like, Bayern Munich have bought, in comparison to United's transfer policy, you have to say it's a shambles.
But Bayern Munich have had the managers.
It's a shambles.
Bayern Munich have had the managers. That my trust in not just my trust. I assume every other Man United player, or Man United fans' trust, in Van Gaal 2 years ago, whenever he had all that money to spend, was infinite. Yes, certainly, give him the money, go and spend it, because that's just what we need to do. And he bought shit players. Well, like that the previous 10 years with Ferguson, where he rebuilt the club over and over and over again, bringing in decent players. Like we're talking about Van Persie. How much did he spend? £9 million on Andy Cole, which was unheard of at the time, and he won the treble.
But he was. That's when you was being sensible with the way in which you spent your money.
That's not sensible if you break the British transfer record.
No, hold on. Even though United used to break loads of transfer records at that time,
was only one or
they'd
two,
bring in players that they needed.
Yeah.
I just feel at the moment it's just like, we've got the money.
But what
so
you're right.
We've got the money, so we'll just
what we needed. But
splash.
Van Gaal's opinion, we needed all those players. That's his opinion. So the club's going to back him with the money to bring the players in. Now, I agree that the players he brought in aren't up to standard, but you're going to support your manager and give him the money that he wants to spend.
Yeah, what are your views on Chelsea as a football club?
Similar to yours.
Quiet now, already.
They bought the title. Chelsea bought the title. And
Is that a good thing or a bad thing for football?
City have done it as well, and since.
Now you're trying to do it.
Yeah.
But unsuccessfully.
Unsuccessfully, yeah. I think.
But you just slated it down.
I would love.
No, I know what I'm saying is, I'm not really that bothered. You asked me, was I annoyed about it? The question was I annoyed about it? No, I'm not, because we've got the money and we're going to spend it. And the same goes for Chelsea, same goes for City. Is it a good thing for football? No, it's not. But that doesn't mean to say I'm annoyed about it. It's just the way of the world,
isn't it? Yeah, I think when we look at it for football as a whole, and we're all sat here as fans of our football clubs, I hate to see teams like that. It's not just because it's Manchester United this time. I don't even like the fact that Liverpool are in the top 10 on this, because I don't think we're the 10th best team in the world. You know what I mean? And the amount of money that we're spending on players, and I think Liverpool are doing something to address that. I think we've certainly taken a stand.
Come on, you've got 80 million for Suarez. How much did you spend that? You spent 120 million that transfer window.
Oh yeah, but we've addressed the wage side of things, which is what we're talking about now, isn't it? We're talking about wage structure and stuff, and the most that we're paying, and it's ridiculous, is £120,000 a week, and it's for James Milner, by the way, just to throw that out there so you all know. And that's kind of ridiculous for the age of the player and stuff like that. But Liverpool are moving in the right direction. We're not being held to ransom. Arsenal have done it for years. The problem is, can you win the league by doing it properly? Can you win the league?
Leicester did.
Yeah,
I suppose. 40 grand a week.
It's a one-off.
There's
a one-off, though,
grand a week.
Well, you do have to
I'll
listen,
take a one-off.
and then the problem is now, obviously, all the Premier League clubs now have loads and loads of money with the TV deals that they have. And I've not got a problem with teams spending big. I want to see us spend big money on a player. Don't get me wrong. But I want to see our transfer policy have some sort of thought put into it, where they're constructing a team and you can see what the plan is. You can see not just, we've got loads of money, so we're just going to splash it on whoever's
no, mate,
the biggest
here's
name.
the players holding the club to ransom, not the other way around.
No, but what Robbie's saying, but time, isn't it? You're coming from a different point of view. You've got a manager who's been there forever, so you know how he plans it. Arsenal very thoughtful about who they buy. Wenger knows his long-term goal. Someone like Mourinho, he knows he's probably got 3 years at United maximum.
Yeah.
2, unless if it doesn't go the way he wants it, United will pull it. They'll just say it's not good enough. We've got stock markets, shares and everything. You're not putting us where you want us to do. So those managers are trying to get that done very quickly, aren't they? And it's trying to. It hasn't worked since Ferguson's left. It hasn't worked. So the only, I suppose, in United's defence is they're trying to get round it by throwing money at everything, scattergun almost.
Yeah. Just as a final point on this, and this is from a fan's perspective again, I said it before, we're all fans of our football teams. It fucking pisses me off when Manchester United are spending nearly £6 million a week on player wages, and Liverpool are spending £3 million a week, and Arsenal are spending nearly £4 million a week. And as Barry said, gate receipts cost less than 20 million for an entire season for season tickets.
Don't get me wrong, don't take me the wrong way.
That's ridiculous. We need to do something as fans, and we need to stand up together as fans to turn this on its head, because we're paying too much to go and see football. It's not our fault that they're paying 290,000 weeks for players. We shouldn't have to be the brunt end of that.
The worst argument you'd ever hear when you talk about wage structures and wage caps. The Premier League should have a wage cap of 100 grand a week. And I hear people go, I know, yeah, but then they'll go and play in a different country. let them, because if they can't afford, no, they can't live on £100 a week. Go and do a real day's work for £200 a week. Go and take a footballer to a factory and go, yeah, mate, see him over there, see Jimmy over there, giving it the out.
But that's a different story, though.
No, it's
someone's
not,
asking you
because
£200 a week and you're getting £100 a week. Which one are you going to go to?
Well, you're going to go off to Italy. Italy can't
for an extra £100,000 a week.
Italy can't pay £200 a week anymore.
But that's not the principle you're saying.
No,
you're
it is,
saying
because it's about a wage cut. If you're a footballer, would you not play football because you can only earn £100 a week?
Well, yes, mate, but if someone's offering you double the money,
the thing is about
someone's offering you double the money.
The thing is about it, Bazzy, I don't really agree. The only way I'd be up for a wage cap is if I knew that money was going to go back to the fans, like you said, where our ticket prices would be next to nothing.
The clubs would have more money,
but that wouldn't happen.
Be fed back into the community.
That wouldn't happen. The owners will pocket that money.
Yep.
So as far as I'm concerned, then they should pay.
So let it go back out the game.
You say out the game,
well,
right?
It is
but at the end of the day, if you don't,
it's in Memphis, the pie's pocket.
It is, yeah. Is he imported his cars with it? Yeah.
You're not going to watch Mashiri when you go on a Saturday. You go to watch the players that are playing on the Everton players on the pitch. They're the ones who deserve to get paid. So I'd only agree to a wage cap if that money is going back to help fans, like you said, with cheaper tickets. If not, because I could just see the owners, they just pocket that money. And I think the players deserve it more than them.
That's what I'm saying. It should be invested back into the club and then the community.
I think you're right. But from me, 20's plenty. That's all that it comes down to for me. And, I think we've seen here that all of our football clubs are spending far too much on players and we're spending far too much on football as fans.
I'm not saying
let's just end it on that because we're massively overrun. We're not going to solve the problem. It felt like a great place to end it on the 20's plenty. You've ruined that, Liam. So we're going to have to go to a
say it again, Chris.
Look. 20's plenty. 20 is plenty. None of this meeting us at 30 quid.
No.
Just go down to 20 quid. That's what it's all about. That's what we want to see. We want to see £20 football for everyone. Are you with me? Yeah!
Burst blood vessel in his head.